Although many insist on saying that Taehyung isn't real, their everyday actions scream a truth that needs no label. They behave like a couple who don't seek approval, but simply to be themselves. For a long time, many people have gone out of their way to claim that Taehyung and Jungkook don't have any special bond. Some even claim that everything they do together is completely planned, as if they're just looking to attract public attention or make money from their shared moments. However, this view doesn't match what can be seen in their daily behavior. When you carefully observe the way they look at each other, how they treat each other, and the gestures they share without the need for cameras or shows, it's evident that there is a very strong connection between them that can't be fabricated. Taehyung and Jungkook aren't people who enjoy pretending or acting to please others. On different occasions, both have said that they don't like to do fan service or show something they don't truly feel. This is clearly evident every time they are together. Their smiles, lingering glances, gentle words, or even their shared silence are details that can't be fabricated without genuine feeling. It's not a script or a strategy, it's a relationship that's been built over time, regardless of what others say. Instead of focusing on what people who don't understand them say, it's more valuable to focus on what Taehyung and Jungkook reveal themselves. When they're close, they don't have to make an effort to appear connected. And that natural closeness is what makes many people, including Taehyung fans, recognize their relationship as something genuine. Remember when Jungkook thought Taehyung was going to give a gift to someone else, and ended up smiling like never before? Remember when Jungkook thought Taehyung was going to give a gift to someone else, and ended up smiling like never before? The scene begins with a small gesture, but with a meaning that doesn't need to be explained in words. Taehyung was holding a gift and started walking, which seemed to indicate that the gift would be for J-Hope. Jungkook, seeing the direction Taehyung was going, changed his expression completely. He went from calm to serious, as if the gift was something he was waiting to receive. It didn't matter what the gift was. For him, the valuable thing was who was giving it to him. This change in Jungkook's face showed that he wasn't just looking at a small detail between colleagues. Instead of continuing with the delivery, Taehyung paused. Then, without warning, he changed direction and walked straight toward Jungkook. That turn was what transformed everything. Jungkook's reaction was immediate. The seriousness disappeared, and in its place appeared a smile you don't see every day. That smile wasn't just because of the gift he received. It was because the person who meant the most to him decided to choose it in public. Those actions, though brief, showed the connection between them. It wasn't a rehearsed moment or something planned for a camera. It was a real reaction that revealed how much that small gesture meant. This kind of interaction doesn't have to be exaggerated to make clear what's behind it. Taehyung made a small joke, walked toward another, and then turned around. Jungkook didn't react like someone watching a joke. His expression showed everything: the gift, the act of giving it, the change of direction. Every part carried significant weight for him. All of this happened in an environment where many people could see them. And yet, they made no effort to hide their way of communicating. When new armies see Jungkook and Taehyung together, they don't ask if they're friends, they ask if they're a couple. For years, Taehyung and Jungkook have shown a connection that can't be explained with simple words. It's not just about being close or having moments together. It's something you can tell when they look at each other, when they seek each other out, when one smiles when the other does. This connection doesn't need to be described. That's why, whenever new people enter the fandom, the first thing they usually notice isn't the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin, but the way Jungkook acts around Taehyung. Many ask if they're in a relationship or if there's more to them than meets the eye. The way Taehyung touches Jungkook's shoulder, the way he leans on Taehyung when there are a lot of people, or even the way they look at each other when they think no one is looking, always raises that same question in those who are just getting to know them. That doubt doesn't come from nowhere, but from something that feels real and true. Taehyung doesn't need to say that Jungkook is important, because he shows it. Nor does Jungkook need to say he misses him, because he always looks for him. Taehyung can't be explained with interviews or social media posts. It's in every gesture they have, even in the simplest moments. Like when they share a space and feel comfortable just being next to each other. Many people who support other connections may not want to see this, but those who look without prejudice notice it immediately. Jungkook always appears different with Taehyung. Not more affectionate, not more expressive, but calmer. As if being with Taehyung makes everything else fall into the background. When it comes to understanding the relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook, there's no need to look for complicated explanations or strange theories. What you see between them is a deep emotional connection, reflected in every moment they're together. It's not just about physical closeness or on-camera coincidences. It's a way of being, of getting to know each other without having to speak. That way of relating is hard to find and even harder to fake. Many people who try to deny what's happening between them do so because they don't want to look beyond the surface. They believe that if Taehyung and Jungkook share glances or gestures, it must be just for work. But they're wrong. There's something much stronger that you see when they're in private, when there's no pressure from lights or cameras. In those moments, they display a kind of trust that isn't improvised. They're not looking out for each other out of obligation. They look out for each other because it's natural to do so. This mutual protection is evident in many moments, when one is tired and the other supports them without speaking, when they laugh over small things only they understand, when they seek each other out in a crowd without anyone noticing. These details are more important than any public declaration. Because what is real doesn't always need to be explained with words. It's also important to notice how they respect each other. Taehyung lets Jungkook express himself at his own pace, and Jungkook understands when Taehyung needs space or attention. There's no imposition between them. There's balance. And in a true relationship, that's worth more than any exaggerated display of affection. Taehyung fans understand this because they know how to see beyond the obvious. It's not about wanting to see something that isn't there. It's about recognizing what is present even if others ignore it. The relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook is built on actions, daily gestures, constant attitudes, silent support, and mutual presence. It doesn't matter how many times you try to deny their connection, because they live it without hiding it. This moment shows something that not everyone can see at first glance. For Jungkook, everything Taehyung does has a value that goes beyond the object or the situation. When Taehyung started moving toward J-Hope with the gift in his hand, Jungkook thought he wasn't the chosen one. And although it was just a joke, his reaction wasn't faked. He didn't smile, make any comments, or show any emotion. What we saw was silence and a serious expression that couldn't be ignored. In that instant, it was clear that Jungkook wasn't waiting for just any gift. He was waiting to be chosen by the person who means the most to him. That's why, when Taehyung turned around and chose him, the reaction was automatic. Nothing needed to be said. His face changed completely, as if in that instant everything else disappeared. This wasn't a game to entertain anyone. There were no hidden cameras or prepared script. It was a reflection of how important that moment was to Jungkook. And that kind of connection can't be created just for show. People who follow Taekook fans know that these details are real. The way Jungkook reacts to Taehyung isn't the same as he does with others. His body language changes, his expressions soften, his way of looking at him is different. Furthermore, these kinds of gestures have occurred many times. It's not the first or last time Taehyung does something small and Jungkook accepts it as if it were the most important thing of the day. This consistency is what has made so many people believe in Taekook fans. Because it's not just one scene that defines them, but the way they consistently repeat patterns that indicate a real relationship. Many people try to say it's all planned. They say they're just strategies to get attention. But Taekook fans see deeper. They observe how they look at each other, how they react, how even small things affect each other. There's a group within the fandom that continues to insist on a different narrative. Jungkookers are convinced that there's something more to Jungkook and Jimin than meets the eye. They use videos, performances, and moments that, for them, are evidence of a relationship. But when you look closely at what actually happens on camera and off, it's clear that this type of interaction is different from the one Jungkook has with Taehyung. With Jimin, there's a strong relationship, but it's based on everyday life and visible group dynamics. With Taehyung, what happens is more personal, more reserved, more constant. Jungkookers often deny this difference. They try to show that Jungkook and Taehyung only share public moments, that their closeness is part of an act or something in the past. But while they continue to do this, the moments between Jungkook and Taehyung continue to occur. Hugs that don't need explanations, glances that extend longer than necessary, reactions that show that their feelings for each other haven't changed. No matter how much the Jungkookers insist on a different story, Taehyung continues to give firm signals. The gestures between them speak for themselves. Like when Jungkook smiles differently when he sees Taehyung, or when Taehyung chooses to stay closer to Jungkook in moments when no one expects it. These constant choices demonstrate that there is a bond that doesn't need forced proof. The problem for many people who follow other theories is that they don't want to accept what is clear. There is a tendency to reject the obvious because it doesn't fit with what they already believe. But that doesn't change reality. Every gesture between Taehyung and Jungkook continues to reaffirm what many already know, that they are connected in a unique way.